Here we back with another interesting video. Now, an interesting video came across my YouTube feed. I never seen it. It came out a while back, and I thought I would review it. So let's get into it. So this content creator, I believe he's a traveler, one of those guys who goes to certain hot spots where it's quote unquote dangerous at. He goes right up in the mix and with his camera and everything like that. So he decided to go to Haiti where the voodoo was happening at. You already know, man. I mean, it's nothing new. But that's why I tell my brothers, don't be afraid to get out your city and state. Because these white boys, they pulling up in the trenches. They pulling up right where you at. They pulling up like it's 1492. Anyways, he decided to go to a spot where, the voodoo was happening at, and he decided to get some quote unquote good luck, right? I want some good luck. I want money. I want, women. I want, fame and notoriety. And I want to, just good luck, superstitious type of shit. Stereotypical nonsense that he heard in, Western mainstream media. Basically the equivalent of somebody praying to God for, fortune and wealth and all this nonsense. God help me be successful in life. But you got to get up and actually, put in the work for real. You can't just wake up one morning and say, we're going to put a spell on me and I'm going to just be rich and powerful and famous. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. He didn't really care to learn the culture. He just came for clicks and views. And in the end, he ended up getting finessed. Yeah, he ended up getting finessed. They tried to finesse him for that paper. They tried to overcharge him, try to tax him. Because number one, you got to understand, in certain sectors, in Haitian voodoo, if you're a white person, they're not really gonna put you on for real. They're gonna run game on you. They're gonna tax you, and they're not really gonna do shit for you. In the end, it is what it is. They see you as an outsider. A lot of times they see you as the adversary. So in the end, I'm not really surprised at what happened to him. Take a look at the description in the video. He said this: McKendy, my guide for the day, mentioned that they do voodoo in the town. So of course I was interested and wanted to check it out. When I asked him in the beginning of the video how much it would cost to do it, he said around 200 or 300 Dominican pesos, which is roughly $4. Later on, McKinney turned on me. He was part of it all. I would have happily paid them over $100 or an equally fair amount for the ceremony. Instead, they tried to finesse me and took my kindness for weakness. Luckily, they took me back to the hotel to extort me for more money, and from there, I was safer at a bargain. With the help of the presence of the hotel staff, in the end, I paid them $70. Now, let's get into it, man. First of all, let me give you the real, the principles of voodoo for real. None of this, bullshit they told you in the goddamn Hollywood movies about, zombies in the cemetery and all this bullshit. Let's get into it for real, man. Because it's been so much misinformation that's been disseminated over the past couple centuries. So let's run down the principles of voodoo. Number one, the most important principle is knowledge. Without knowledge, you have nothing. And when I say knowledge, I'm not just talking about the degrees and the master's degrees and the JDs and the PharmDs. I'm talking about your pathway to knowledge. It never ends. You never stop learning. You never stop accumulating more information. You never stop strengthening your mind. And I also want to give the disclaimer that over 90% of Haitians are Christians. Don't get fooled by the mainstream media where they told you that, no, the majority of us are worshiping white Jesus. We up in church every Sunday. We have a lot of self-hate. The Catholic Church has a massive influence over the educational system, and it's had this influence since the goddamn 1850s. So don't get fooled. The element of voodoo in the society is pushed off to the fringes. There's been many campaigns against that sector of the community of the nation, where they've been attacked, they've been lynched, they've been burned alive. Whenever something bad happens in the country, they immediately get blamed and everybody runs to attack them and take their life. When the earthquake happened, a bunch of them got lynched in the middle of the street for no reason. And that's mainly due to the self-hate. A lot of our miseducation from the Catholic schools and the Catholic Church, colonization, it's an effect of colonization. And even those who are involved in voodoo, a lot of their elements of what they do is also heavily influenced by Catholicism, really. And, those in my family who get involved with it, you're not going to see a bunch of, Catholic saints and a bunch of white Catholic saint pictures up on the wall and a bunch of, we don't really get involved in that. Like we don't have a bunch of white people up on the walls talking. No, we don't do that, man. That's another sector. And where he went, he basically, he went to some bootleg type shit. He went to some bootleg type of shit talking about we gonna give you good luck, and they got a bunch of Catholic saints. They talking about we got Saint Peter over here. Like I don't know nothing about no goddamn Saint Peter or Saint Mary or nothing like that. If you want to be a Catholic, just be a Catholic. Stop faking the funk, man. Stop faking the funk. If you want to be a Catholic, be a Catholic. I don't really like the whole, we got the Catholic pictures, but we doing voodoo. I think that's some weird shit. I've always thought that was weird. I don't get involved with that. You notice the pictures that I use are pictures of black people. So, that's the difference. So yeah, what you'll notice is when I run down the principles of voodoo, you'll understand that the modern day Haitian population, they do not abide by the principles of voodoo, because if they did, the country would not look the way it looks, right? If they did, the Catholic Church would not be in charge of the educational system. If they did, because the number one principle is knowledge. So why would you give up the minds of your children to the Catholic Church? And you wonder why you have so much self-hate and confusion within the country, because you're not abiding by the principles laid down by your natural given spirituality. Anyways, let's continue. The number two principle of voodoo. Principle number 2 is defense. Now, I'm sure this is where this principle came in during the many wars, the many campaigns, the Haitian Revolution, during the fight against the U.S. Marines back during the occupation 1915. Defense. Not only the defense of your family, but the defense of the territory, the defense of the nation, the defense of the homeland. Defense. Ready to put your life on the line to defend, right? So, number 1, we're obviously not abiding by this principle either, because as it stands right now, we do not have a standing military. We do not have a standing, like the Haitian armed forces, they don't exist. They don't exist. For whatever reason, the United States government in the 90s requested that the Haitian military be abolished. And for whatever reason, the clown that was in charge, the goofball that was in charge during that time, he actually capitulated to the demands of the U.S. government. And we still, damn near 30 years later, still have no military. So we are not abiding by the number 1 principle of knowledge, because we've assimilated to the guidelines and the curriculum of the Catholic Church. And we are not abiding by the number 2 principle of defense, because if you do not have a standing military, then what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing, man? What the hell are you doing? Who abolishes their military because some white boy said so? Who does that? Who does that, bro? And let me tell you this, man. I mean, the abolishing of the Haitian military was something they've been trying to do that for an extremely long time, going all the way back to the early 1800s, man. In the 1790s, when Toussaint Louverture had a standing army of over 50,000 men, the French government and the commissioners on multiple occasions tried to convince Toussaint to decrease the amount of soldiers that he had standing at arms. Send some guys back to agriculture. You don't got to have so many, soldiers on deck like that. And then later on, when Dessalines came to power, he, boosted up the military, strengthened the military. And then when Christophe came to power and he was dealing with the British government, one request made by the British government to Christophe was to decrease the amount of soldiers that he had standing at arms and to send some guys back to agriculture. I don't want to say it was a request, but it was a suggestion made by the British government. And Christophe said, nigga, fuck that. I'm strengthening the military and I'm adding more soldiers to the military, because I don't know when the French pulling up. So fuck all that, decrease the military. Fuck out of here, man. And later on in the late 1800s, when the U.S. government, during the Mont St. Nicholas affair, when they tried to establish a naval base on the island through gunboat diplomacy, which they were rejected, they also had made the request of the government during that time to decrease the military, right? Decrease the military. You don't got to have so many soldiers standing at arms. If another country is requesting to decrease your military, that right there that's some funny business right there. But luckily, the government during that time, they did not listen. They strengthened the military once again. And then, as you know, in 1915, they invaded the country. The U.S. Marines invaded the country, occupied it for 20 years. And then later down the line, in the 1990s, during the administration of Bill Clinton, the U.S. government invaded the country and actually abolished the military. And still to this day, we have no military. So we are not abiding by the third principle of voodoo, or the second principle of voodoo, which is defense. So as you can see, we see why the country is where it is today. You have no knowledge and you have no defense. Now, the third principle of voodoo. The third principle is hard work. And hard work is usually connected to agriculture, commerce, things like that. The women selling in the marketplace, the farmer cooking the rice, and the farmer with the livestock, and the farmer with the pigs and the goats, and, the cows and everything like that. Agriculture, hard work, getting up every day, getting to the bread, putting in work, grinding, hard work, man. Like they said, even in the Bible, what the Bible said, faith without works is dead. Same thing, man. Same thing. Don't get fooled and bamboozled by the superstitious, hocus pocus. I'm gonna do a funny dance, and then you're gonna have a bunch of money. No, you have to put in that work. You got to put in that grind. You got to put in that work. You got to put in that grind. You got to plant your seeds, and you got to wait for the harvest. That's what voodoo is about, man. Knowledge, defense, hard work. And as you can see, if you're not abiding by these principles, you can see why the country is where it is today. If all your government officials is a bunch of crooks and a bunch of con men, working for outside foreign governments, doing the bidding of foreign governments, and they're not trying to work hard and establish an economy, establish a nation. They're not really trying to work hard. They're not really trying to apply the principles of voodoo. Then you understand why the country is where it is today. But unfortunately, voodoo gets a bad rap due to Western propaganda, mainstream European propaganda, mainstream US media propaganda, and they don't understand the principles of it. And also, they got to understand it's different sectors, it's different societies, it's different, different subgroups. that do their own thing. So when I look at this video, this dude went to, you know, if you ask me, he went to some bootleg type of shit, man. He went to some bootleg type of shit, and ultimately they tried to finesse him. And when these outsiders come in, you know, they always say the most outlandish type of thing. Oh yeah, you know, you gonna have all the money in the world. Yeah, you gonna have all the women in the world. Oh yeah, you gonna be the man. You gonna be a millionaire 2 times over. You gonna be as rich as Bill Gates. Oh yeah, you know, just straight conning that, man. Just con artist type of shit, man. Con artist type of shit. But it is what it is, man. You go to some bootleg type of shit, and you an outsider, you're gonna get finessed, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. Bill Clinton, before Bill Clinton became a major politician, he actually went down to Haiti for something similar too. You know, I want to put some good luck on me. You know, I want to put some good luck so I could be, you know, a powerful politician. But at the end of the day, it wasn't the voodoo that made him a powerful politician. It was the hard work. It was the fact that you know, maybe you got a little lucky, but it was the hard work. You was on the campaign trail. You was waking up every day, you know, putting in that grind every day, planting your seeds every day, and then you reap the harvest at the end. It's the same principle in all spiritual teachings, man. Stop getting involved in these, you know, hocus pocus and things like that. Of course, yeah, I do the ceremony shit too, but I do my part too. The ancestors gonna help you out. The ancestors gonna have your back, but you gotta put in your effort too. You gotta put in your work too. You gotta put in your part of the bargain too. And to be honest, as soon as the white boy walked in, he should have known there was some bootleg type of shit going on, man. You know what I mean? He walked in, there was some dude with no shirt on and just looking like he just rolled out of bed and shit. Like, come on, man. Like, he went to the most, come on, bro. Come on, man. You could have went to a spot that was on point. You know, that was clean, that was, you know, on point. But I know that wouldn't get the clicks and views. So you went to the most, you know, the most bootleg shit you could find. And at the end of the day, he got over damn near 1.5 million views. So I'm sure he probably cashed a nice little check off that video. So I understand. It was just propaganda. Now, anyways, the fourth principle of voodoo is love. Now, I don't think I got to run down too much information about that. That's pretty much self-explanatory. You know, love your brother, love your sister, love your people, love your nation, love yourself. You know, love yourself, love your ancestors, love your people. It is what it is, man. We already know what it is, and obviously, we're not abiding by this principle either, because we got a bunch of thugs and bandits and criminals running around the Capitol, and they're not showing nobody no love. You know, they don't got no love for nobody. And at the same time, you could say nobody had love for them too. When they were young coming up, when they was just kids in the street, when their parents didn't have any food to feed them and no money to send them to school, nobody showed them no love. So now they grew up and now they're not showing nobody no love. So it ain't no love in the motherfucking Capitol right now. It ain't no love. No love. Love is non-existent. Now, let's continue. The fifth principle of voodoo is justice. And justice kind of also goes into defense, because justice, for example, the Haitian Revolution, that was justice. You know, we don't believe in turning the other cheek. It ain't no turning the other cheek when it comes to voodoo. If you take my life, I gotta take yours. I forget the exact Haitian proverb, but it goes something like, the assassin is supposed to die the same day as the victim. You know, justice, man, justice. And going back to the second principle of defense and the fourth principle of love, there can be no justice without no standing military, without no standing government that's competent and ready to enact justice. And there can be no justice when there's an absence of love. When there's no love, there could be no justice. So with no love and no defense, you can't have justice. It's all connected. So yeah, man. Now let's get into the video, man. Let's jump into the video, see what the white boy got himself into, man. Let's get into it. Run the footage.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go and check out some voodoo, because voodoo is a common thing here in Haiti. Voodoo. If you guys don't know what voodoo is, it's a type of black magic or santeria, which is a Spanish word for that. Yeah, so it's like a witch doctor type religion, healing thing. He said you can go there for anything if you want to get cures for whatever. We go there for good luck and bye-bye. ¿Tú sabes cuánto?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Cuánto?
Cuando llegaste, el dueño que sabe.
Ah, tú sabes, tú conoces.
El dueño.
Tú conoces la dueña, ¿ah? No es mucho, ¿ah? Poco, 100, 200, algo así.
200, 300.
Now, that right there should have told you it was some bootleg operations going on, because when he's negotiating the price, they can't even give you a direct price. He was like, well, I can't really give you a price right now. The other person will tell you when you get there. I'll give you a roundabout estimate. I'll let you know afterwards. And then, they originally agreed on like $120, and then towards the end, I forget what he asked him. They ended up raising the price to like 50,000 Dominican pesos. Let's get back to the footage.
Es el dueño.
Ah, usted es la dueño. Okay. ¿Usted habla inglés? ¿Inglés? ¿Español? Español. Yo quiero ver cómo hace la gente voodoo. ¿Usted hace voodoo?
Man, listen, I understand why they tax you. I understand why they try to, run you around a bunch of circles, because you just a random white boy showed up on the damn shores like it's 1492, like you Christopher Columbus, talking about, ¿Cómo está? I want to see how you do the voodoo. I want to see how you do the voodoo. This is what they do voodoo. Oh, this jackpot right here. Oh, this a lick. Oh, we about to come up. Me and my wife about to eat good tonight. Oh, yeah. You want to do voodoo? All right, say no more. Come through. Come through.
Suerte, una agua florida, una leche y los polvos, lógicamente.
¿Hacemos?
O sea, son una suerte de una vez.
¿Hacemos?
¿Tú haces?
Yo quiero.
Claro, dame 500
500.
para comprar todo eso.
¿Tú compras las cosas?
Sí, desde ahí mismo.
Y la...
Sí, vamos a explicar aquí.
¿Y ven cómo no?
Para allá él.
Ah, gracias, merci.
Okay. Esa es la casa.
¿Eso es una shrine o qué es eso? Como...
O sea, ahí yo trabajando por la gente que van para afuera, que quiere ir para el mal, hallando drogas de todo.
Ok.
Sí.
Es como... Ok, entiendo.
Sí.
Wow.
Aquí yo trabajando llamando al santo. Cuando va con nosotros, llamando al santo para que hable con nosotros, ponga los suerte de una vez. Y si quiere matando gente, aquí que matando gente también.
Se bocó, él va para
Now, first things first, I'm not a fan of all the European white Catholic saints all up on the damn wall. But my man was laying it on good, man. He was trying to get that bread. He's about to raise the tax because he was like, yo, if you need me to kill somebody, I'll kill him. Whatever you need, man. It is what it is. And that goes back to the principles number 2. And I forget, was it number 5? Defense and justice? Yeah. That's what he was talking about when he said, listen, you need me to kill somebody, I'll kill him. You need me to wipe somebody out, I'll do it. We could do it. It is what it is, man. It's going to cost you a little extra, but we could do it. We could get it done. That's pretty much that's what he means. You know what I mean? Now, of course, people can use these things for nefarious reasons, as with anything. Same thing for a gun. You could use a gun to defend yourself. You could use a gun to, commit a mass shooting. But, basically that's what he's talking about. But in the context of this interaction, he only said that because he sees this guy as a foreigner. This guy's a white boy. So I'm about to tax him. I'm about to knock him over the head. And I'm about to just, lay it on good. I'm about to tell him what he want to hear because he probably came from America where they heard all this, wild, outrageous type of shit. So I'm going to just lay it on. I'm going to just tell him what he wants to hear. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But like I told you, the principles of voodoo, it's a cultural thing. It's a way of life. It's not just, all these spells and potions and dances and magic and all this shit that they be talking about. It goes way deeper than that, man. So anyways, let's get back into it.
¿Eso es el santo?
Sí, ese santo.
¿Cómo se llama?
Saint-Pierre.
Saint-Pierre.
Sí.
¿Puedo?
Sí.
Eso se llama Saint-Pierre.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Interesante.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Catholic saints. I'm just not a fan of the Catholic saints. We're not in slavery anymore. I could understand our forefathers and our foremothers had to mix and mingle with the Catholic saints so the white Frenchmen didn't motherfucking chop our dicks off and, cut our heads off and throw us in the goddamn ocean. But last time I checked, at least since January 1st, 1804, when the white Frenchmen had to motherfucking flee the island in humiliation, we are no longer under their occupation and their subjugation and their humiliation. So we don't gotta hide behind the Catholic saints anymore, man. We could put our own images up on the wall now. It's been over 220 years. I think we could, put our own images on the goddamn wall. And like I said, it's different sectors, different societies. Obviously, this guy, he's still attached to the Catholic saints. Maybe back up in his bloodline, his ancestors, they was doing the Catholic saints, and they held on to it. They held on to it and never stopped. But in my opinion, I think we could let it go now. You talk about St. Peter and things like that. We not in slavery no more, man. We not in slavery no more. Come on, man. Anyways, let's continue.
Cuando hacemos eso, yo soy fuerte. Más fuerte que antes.
Es más fuerte. Tiene más suerte.
Más suerte, ¿huh?
Si tú estás trabajo, allá trabajo más bueno,
Sí.
más caro.
¿Y con las chicas?
También.
También, más chicas.
Sí.
Eso
Si tú
queremos.
tienes la mujer tuyo que no te quiere, él también, él trabaja en eso también.
Okay. So if a woman doesn't want you, you come here and you do this, and she'll want you afterwards.
Oh my God, yo. It's no surprise why they tried to finesse him, because you obviously came for some bullshit. Oh man, I can get the money and the power and the women gonna want me. They're gonna be on my dick, bro. Come on, man. They obviously seen you a lame. Like, this dude's a damn goofy. You know what my elders told me? When you want a woman to want you back, or when you want to, a woman don't want you, a woman trying to play games with you. You know what my elder told me? Get back to work. Get back to work. Put money in your goddamn pocket. Come back bigger and better than before. Come back bigger and better than before. Right? There is no magic. There is no spell that you're gonna do, and then they're gonna be crazy over you. No, you're gonna have to put in that work. You're gonna have to put in your end of the bargain. You're gonna have to put in that work, and you're gonna have to become the man. You're gonna have to put money in your goddamn pocket. That's what the spirits tell us to do. That's what the spirits tell us to do, right? The spirits don't tell us, oh, we just come here, we're gonna motherfucking put some milk in a goddamn bucket, and the lady she gonna want you. No, that's not how it works, man. God damn. But I understand he a foreigner, he a white boy, so he getting finessed. We don't respect this nigga.
Ustedes hacen dos, Vodou y católica juntos.
Sí.
Entonces
Se
usted
hace
va.
las agresiones.
Okay. Entonces tú vas a la iglesia, y cuando tú no tienes suerte, tú vienes
acá.
aquí.
Sí, a buscar suerte.
Okay.
La suerte.
Nice picture here. ¿Qué significa eso?
Es una cosa, es una ceremonia.
Una cosa de una símbolo o algo así. Eso es serpiente. Serpiente.
Sí.
Eso de cabeza
Vaca.
una vaca. Eso es serpiente también. Okay, and these are symbols.
Pardon bon Dieu, pardon les saints, nous demandons pardon papa parce que nous reconnaissons c'est vous qui mettez, c'est vous papa non tout. Nous reconnaissons nos péchés, nos paroles l'ont dit, dans ça nous fait côté nos chita, on a parlé.
All right, man. This dude is doing some remix, Catholicism, Christianity / voodoo, throw it in the blender. My man rang the bell, and then he said, Father God, we recognize our sins, and you are the master of the universe. I'm like, bro, listen, we did not listen. In the authentic version, the non-remix version of voodoo, we're not calling on, Father God. We're not calling on the God of Jerusalem. We're not calling on, we're not doing that. We're not calling on Saint Peter. We're not talking about, the devil and the saints, because there is no devil in voodoo. There is no angel / devil duality in voodoo. That came from the Europeans. That came from Christianity. That came from Catholicism. We don't have that in the non-remix version. In the untapped version of voodoo, we don't have that duality. The devil and the God, and we calling on our sins, and God, forgive us for our sins. This is some Catholicism, Christianity, the God, Yahweh type of shit. This ain't the real deal voodoo. This ain't the real deal. It is what it is. Let's continue.
Ndilo asimbia na uzo.
Dile, écris tout ça, il y a besoin de ça.
Él dijo, escribe todo que tú quieres ahí.
Que yo quiero.
Todo lo que tú quieres, escribe
lo que yo
ahí.
quiero.
Sí, escribe ahí. Todo lo que tú necesitas, tú escribe ahí.
Okay.
En tu mente,
¿Escribir en mi mente o en el papel?
en el papel. Tú vas a escribir algo ahí. Todo lo que tú quieres, tú escribes algo ahí.
Bueno, en cuero, quita toda la ropa. Todo.
Toro.
Quita
Eso también.
Sí,
Todo.
sí, quita.
Toro.
Sí.
Okay.
Sí.
Ahora. La cámara. Entrar aquí, ¿no?
Sí, entra aquí. Sí. ese trabajo que tú haces cuesta 50,000 pesos. Tú vas a dar 10. Después de la prueba, tú vienes a traer los 40,000 pesos.
¿Cuánto?
Ese que te cuesta 50,000 pesos. Tú vas a dar
50,000.
Sí. Tú vas a dar 10 ahora.
Pero yo tengo solo 1,000 aquí, tú sabes.
Yeah, y'all remember when he first came, they agreed on $4 American, something like what, 200, 300 Dominican pesos. And then towards the end, when he's like, all right, so how much it costs, everything finished, everything good, everything on point. And then he's like, all right, bet. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to pay like 10,000 Dominican pesos right now, right? And then later on, we can get the other 40,000, that's remaining. Now, is he going to have any good luck? I mean, no. No, because the Haitian spirits, they don't rock with you, nigga. You're European. They don't communicate with your dumb ass, nigga. You ain't no black man, nigga. They ain't coming to help you out, man. What? Fuck out of here. They just seen you as a goofy white boy. It was like, okay, bet we're gonna do everything you seen on TV. Now, me personally, I don't do the dumb shit that people typically do when they want to get involved with voodoo, right? People usually I want to make somebody fall in love with me. I want to get revenge on somebody. I want to get rich, whatever. But me personally, I use it to fuel my creative endeavors, right? When I do music, when I write songs, like that song that I play at the end of my video, that's my song. I use it strictly to tap into different levels of songwriting, to enhance my creative abilities. That's what I use it for. And I also want to touch on certain topics such as sacrifices to the ancestors. Do you know how you sacrifice to the ancestors? You sacrifice to the ancestors by your accomplishments, by your achievements, by what you've built, by what you've established. For example, the citadel that was built by King Henry Christophe in the early 1800s, that right there was an excellent example of a sacrifice to their ancestors, because that was black men taking their knowledge, wisdom, and hard work to establish one of the greatest monuments that the world has ever seen. That right there is an example of a sacrifice to the ancestors. It don't always gotta be, the stereotypical, mainstream media sacrifice. We sacrificing a pig or some shit like that. No, you sacrifice to the ancestors by erecting a hospital, by establishing institutions. Of course, the ancestors and the spirits, they gonna have your back, but you gotta put in the work too. You cannot sit back on your ass getting drunk, laying up in the bed, waking up at 2 in, and think that you about to get blessings raining down upon you. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. And they know that's not how it works. Everybody know that. Everybody know you gotta get up off your ass and make it happen. And then, like I said, you plant the seeds and then you reap the harvest. The spirituality of a nation is supposed to provide a doctrine of how to operate, how to live, how do people interact with each other, things like that. That's really what it serves, right? That's really what it serves. I feel like the propaganda of voodoo kind of minimized it down to a bunch of spells and a bunch of dances and a bunch of, potions and a bunch of, mixtures and all type of shit. But it goes way deeper than that, man. It's an entire way of life. It's an entire way of life. It goes way deep. It goes way deeper than just a little ceremony off in a corner, taking a quick bath and things like that. It goes way deeper than that, man. The spirituality of a nation is supposed to provide you with a template or an orientation of how you see the world and how you interact with the world, right? So anyways, let's get back into it.
Yo no tengo ese dinero, ¿ah? Eso es mucho, amigo. 50,000, eso es...
Si pas gen problème, m'a fait pour lui pour 30.
Él te va a hacerlo por 30,000, él te va a rebajar.
La bombe 7,000, la puedo
30,000. ¿Cuánto es en dólares?
¿Tú le das?
30,000 en dólares. ¿Cuánto
30,000 pesos.
Sí, ¿cuánto es en dólares?
¿Cómo combien en dólares?
$600.
$600. $600.
Dis si pas vous comme vous avez malheur, oui.
Él dice, si tú no mandas los cuartos, tú vas a tener problemas.
¿Cómo?
Si tú no mandas esos cuartos, tú vas a tener problemas.
No entiendo.
Él dice, si tú no lo mandas, los cuartos, tú vas a tener muchos problemas.
¿Por qué no me dices antes?
No, ellos no trabajan así. Es después que él llama a su santo. Él no trabaja con su cabeza, porque él no trabaja, él tiene un santo.
¿Es tu moto? Sí. Ah, es bueno. ¿Yo? Sí. ¿Dónde vas?
Ya está cerrado, vamos a pasar por ahí.
¿No hay problema con la policía, eso?
No.
No.
Cuidado.
¿Por aquí? Sí. Ah.
Mírala. No, ahora que salió. Yo te Él pasa migración.
Sí, pero tú sabes.
Sí, eso no.
¿Dónde está la comida?
Yo voy, ¿usted espera aquí?
Sí.
Ok. Solo eso, yo no tengo más. No tengo más.
Sí.
Solo eso.
Sí.
Solo 4 por turno.
No me.
Yo tengo solo 4 por turno. No puedo más, no tengo más. Eso es todo el dinero que yo tengo. ¿Sí me entiendes?
¿Cuándo tú me vas a dar?
Yo dije 1,000 por ti. Sí. ¿No puedes decir eso? No tengo más.
Unfortunately for the brothers, you know, they couldn't really finesse this one. They tried to finesse it from $4 to $50,000. I mean, not dollars, but Dominican pesos. And then they got it reduced to, they said he paid like 70 American dollars or whatever. And yeah, man. So that finesse move probably worked in the past, probably multiple times, because tourists come in from outside the country or whatever. And, you know, that probably ain't no money to somebody traveling, you know, traveling around the world. They probably got disposable income like that. So that finesse move probably worked multiple times in the past, and it didn't work today, man. You can see them boys was tight. But yeah, man, you a foreigner, you a white boy. I mean, certain spots, certain sectors, they don't respect you. They're not really gonna do anything for you. They're gonna do a song and dance and then send you home and tell you, nigga, pay me $100,000. You gotta understand, when you talk about these spiritual systems, it's not like, you know, how Christianity was adapted to where everybody could get involved, and you could be a Chinese Christian, you could be an Indian Christian, you could be a European Christian, you could be an African Christian. It's not that type of party. These things are indigenous to certain cultures. These things are native to certain cultures. You as an outsider, you as a foreigner, nah, you can't tap into this shit, bro. You can't tap into it. You're an outsider. You're not part of the party. You're not invited to the party. You're not invited to the cookout, as they always say. But they will finesse you, and they will take your money. That's a fact. Now, anyways, it's your boy Neferkari Desalegn. Cash App up on the screen. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart to be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. No, they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you in court. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so at least. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with friends, cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.